Let's turn our attention to the KinectSensorChooserUI control. To recap, the KinectSensorChooserUI control is an easy way to provide feedback to the user on whether the Kinect sensor is properly initialized, and if not, then it can give useful hints on what to do to fix the issue. There is only one property that you can change for the KinectSensorChooserUI control. This is the is listening property. If you set it to true, after the Kinect has been initialized, the control shows a microphone instead of simply disappearing. This microphone indicates to the user that he or she can actually speak to the computer at this point. This is just an indication though. Setting the is listening property to true does not turn on the speech recognition by itself. You may want to change a lot more about the KinectSensorChooserUI control. For example, you may want to change the color scheme, the graphics, the animations, or just translate the explanation or error messages that pop up. For this, you have to get your feet wet and access the source code of the control. To get to the source code for the Microsoft.Kinect.Toolkit assembly, which is the home of the KinectSensorChooserUI control, open the Kinect for Windows Developer Toolkit sample browser, go to Components, and click the Install button next to the Microsoft.Kinect.Toolkit part. I will also install the source code for the Microsoft.Kinect.Toolkit.Controls assembly, since we will need it soon. You can see here that both sets of source code has been installed. I will use Blend to open the Microsoft.Kinect.Toolkit project. This project is the home of the Kinect Sensor Chooser logic, view model, and UI. Let's open and examine the KinectSensorChooserUI XAML file, which describes the user interface itself. Opening the States tab, we can examine the different visual states of the control. I have turned on the transition previews so that I can show different animations between the states. The stopped state is activated when the Kinect sensor is not active. The initializing state shows a nice semi-transparent icon indicating that there is something going on. The all set listening state is shown when the is listening flag is set to true and the Kinect sensor has been initialized. This is the microphone we saw earlier. The next state is called No Available Sensors, and as its name implies, this state is shown when there are no sensors connected to the computer or when they are not available for the application to use. We also have a separate error state, which is shown in the different error conditions. For example, when the sensor is not yet powered up, or there is insufficient bandwidth on the USB port, and so on. Finally, the all set not listening state is active when the Kinect has been initialized, everything is normal, and the is listening property is set to false. This state effectively makes the control invisible after briefly showing graphics of a Kinect sensor.